I got paid, so now I should fill it up all the way.
We on? We live?
No. Yes.
Okay. So I got this 318. It's an 82. And it's got this funky, where is it? It's got this funky dual, I don't know, pickup deal, which is fine. It's ran on that for a long time, but the vacuum canister doesn't work. When I apply vacuum to it, it doesn't work. It won't even hold vacuum. So I got these other distributors here that are low deck, big block Chrysler. This one's a Points, and this one is an electronic. I just noticed that that's broken. That's all right. Anyways, so I was just going to swap the vacuum canister out from one of these into this, but because it's this funky, let's see if we can get the right one here. So it's this funky one that's got the dual pickups, and I'll just say that it's not a stock 318 anymore. It was swapped over to carburation, so it doesn't need all the other gadgets and gizmos that were hooked up to it. So, and you can see this got, it's got 2 slots instead of 1. But what's important here is, see where the roll pin is? This is on the left side, or on this side of it, of the slot, and on this 82 one, it's on this side. So rather than to drill a hole and try to put this pin in the right location, I also have the slot that I'd have to contend with. So what I'm going to do, what I've already done on this one, is I drove the pin out, and I'm going to just take the inside of the 82 and put it inside the big block one. The body of the distributor is the same. The only thing different is the length of the shaft. So I'm gonna come over here. I'll show you. This is really sucks that they use these nylon ones or plastic, but this one's in good shape still. So what I'm gonna do is just, this one's already broken, so I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going to take this punch, and it's just like working with your MSD. You're going to have to drive this roll pin out. If I can get it lined up here. Come on. It's a little cold today. Make sure I don't lose my roll pin. Okay. All right. So then you got this nylon or plastic, and then you got a little washer there. So now this whole assembly will come right out, the weights and everything. It's a little crusty in there. So now what I'm going to do is kind of clean this one up. Oh, there goes my rotor. Clean this one up a tad. A little rusty in there. Drop her in. I'll come back over here.
Oh, jeez.
And just reassemble it. Line up the hole. Well, let me show you how the difference in the length before I do this. Oh, that was the inside washer. Or outside. No, that was the outside washer. Okay. Where did I put it? Okay. And you can see the weights are a little different. But what's really different is dropping everything here. One's taller than the other. So the 318 one is taller, longer, whichever. Alright, let's go back over here. Now, I'll go ahead and drop her back in. Maybe I ought to lube that up a little bit.
Do I have to move again?
Yes. Okay. Washer.
Dryer.
Roll pin. Get it in the hole. Tell if it's lined up or not. Alright. Okay, we got her in there. So now, drop our shit all over the floor. That's important. Make sure you do that right. Now we can put this vacuum canister in here. So the reason why I had to do this is you can see that how it's got a spot for the roll pin on the body here, and it puts this facing up where it belongs. Where if I had the old one, wherever it went, it faced the other way and it wouldn't work, and that's why I had to switch. Oh, here we go. This one, the roll pin was on this side for it to face upward, but because of the way, because this one doesn't work, these other vacuum canisters would not work. So rather than to try to track down a new vacuum canister, because nobody has them local, and we're going to go ahead and test them real quick to make sure that it works. You should see that arm go inside. Okay, now it's bottomed out. Now I understand there are different rates. Different canisters have different rates of advance, but this is just I didn't have any, so this is to get us going. And I believe these can be adjusted with an Allen screw. Maybe, maybe not. Either way, this is what we're doing. instead of putting that dual pickup back in, I'm going to go and use the single pickup. Figure out how this goes back together. Where are we at here? Alright, I got the vacuum can into that one. I was trying to put it in the wrong hole. I said this one, but I was wrong. I had to do this one. I ended up taking the magnetic pickup off. And I'll have to put that back on and such. So it fits over this pin here on this plate. And once you get it all together, there's an air gap that you're supposed to have between the reluctor and the magnetic pickup. Alright, so go ahead and throw these screws back in. Okay. Screw the plate down, screw the vacuum canister back down. For whatever reason, this screw isn't covering up that hole, and I don't want moisture in there, so I'm gonna throw a different screw in there. It's gonna be kind of janky, but at least it should cover that hole up so we don't get any moisture in there. This is on the cheap. I'm just trying to save myself some money and not have to buy another distributor. Still doesn't cover it up very much. I don't know what the deal is there. But the plate is in the pin, lined up in the pin, so I know it's in the right spot. So I'm not really sure why. Guess I could throw a washer on it or something. But for right now, that's just what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to get all this together and test it and make sure it works. So now, this is the old one. I'm getting rid of that. I'm gonna find a reluctor that I just took off, probably threw away. There we go. This one's a little dusty. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. Doesn't look that old. How does that go back on there? Okay, alright, so there's a slot right here. That's where this roll pin is going to fit into. And this is like a pressed kind of fit here, so. So I'm going to have to try to line it up right there. she's in there. So now you can see there's basically no air gap. So this little bit of movement here will give you adjustment there. I'll have to look up that spec. You have to do it with a feeler gauge and get it correct. But anyways, hopefully this will fix my problem. And actually I'll bring you guys back when I have it installed in the truck and see if it'll run. Thank you. I was telling your mom those old gaskets were all saturated with oil, so they weren't, and they were loose, like these were loose.
Yeah.
And that back corner down there on the bottom was leaking pretty bad, so I'm hoping that was the reason.
Yeah.
Like I told your mom, unless we go through a whole deep clean again, it's probably still gonna drip for a while. So just try to park it in the back until. Ready? So it's the next day. It's a lot nicer day today. Got the distributor stab back in, timed it, and so what I had to do to time it is I had to take the power steering pump off because of the location of the tab and everything. So I have it set at 34 degrees total. It's a factory setup, so I'm not really worried about the initial and the mechanical and everything. It should all be fine. I didn't change anything mechanical in distributors. Still the same distributor, just a different housing. So with that, fire it up, Dean. So it's just a stock 318. It's got an RV cam in it, so there's nothing spectacular about it, but it runs really good. It wasn't running good, and that's why I had to dig into it. And now we're going to go and take it for a test drive and to actually see how it handles going down the road. We're on our test drive. We're going to get up on the interstate. We're going to